In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the brand new Marshal pistols or shotguns, whatever you want to call them, that just released in Cold War. You can unlock these shotguns through challenges or purchase a bundle for 1,100 COD points in the store. And I'll be trying to give you a quick overview of how I like this weapon, how it feels on higher rounds, if this is potentially the new strategy or meta, and especially with the brand new attachment that we haven't seen on any weapons for the magazine, which is Dragon's Breath. How does that hold up? If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much. We just hit 27,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mind-blowing. We are 3k off hitting our goal of 30,000 subscribers, so if you're new here, consider subscribing. And also be sure to drop a like on the video. Let's aim for 200 likes on this one. Before we fully get into my actual review of this weapon, as always, I'm going to let you hear what this weapon sounds like when it's not pack-a-punched and what it sounds like when it is pack-a-punched. Honestly, this weapon doesn't sound bad, it sounds pretty good. To give you a quick overview of my honest opinion, this is probably one of the most fun weapons I have used in a very long time. Not only on zombies, but on multiplayer as well, especially in like hardcore face-off 6v6. It's just crazy fun dual wielding this weapon. One weird thing with this weapon, it does only have 4 attachment slots. It has 2 optics, 2 barrels, 1 magazine, and 1 stock, which is the dual wield, and the magazine is the Dragon's Breath attachment. To give you a quick kind of understanding of what the Dragon Breath attachment does in this game, it basically increases your firepower to just full bar, which is very interesting, and it means that it will fully kill a zombie. But from my experience using it, I found out that for some odd reason it knocks a bunch of zombies away. So basically it makes zombies fall over around the area. It only affects a small bit of the zombies with the fire damage, which kind of doesn't look like they really all the time get hit by this fire damage, and it feels like you're lagging in a solo private game, which was such a weird experience. So in my honest opinion, I'm not a huge fan of Dragon's Breath. Now this attachment is kind of bugged out currently in game. You cannot use it with dual wield versions of these pistol shotguns. You can only use it with the weapon on its own, so you cannot obviously have it combined with the dual wield currently. Obviously it will probably change in the future, fingers crossed, because this is a very weird thing. If the actual bundle of the game for 1,100 COD points comes with the dual wield, and on top of all of this Dragon's Breath attachments already on it, and then they don't work, it's very odd. But looking at this weapon overall, the base name is just called Marshals, just like the name of the weapon itself. But when you pack-a-punch it and have it dual wield, probably one of the funniest names, or just one of the kind of coolest, it's called Law and Order. Now this weapon does remind me a lot of the actual Marshals. Some of the signs and symbols on it with the variant that's in the store, it does have a little bit of nods here and there to the old Marshals that we've seen on Black Ops 3, but this weapon is in no way that kind of a weapon. On early rounds, it is pretty good. You will be mowing through the zombies with dual wield, especially. I will be using dual wield for most of it. I ended up spawning into a game with the single version, then testing out dual wield, and then I wanted to test out Dragon's Breath, but that ended up crashing my game. I don't know, this weapon is just bugged out all in all. But this weapon does really feel like it starts dropping off in the higher 30s, and if you don't have the 12.1 inch extended barrel, you will be noticing kind of a difficult way of killing zombies. Obviously, if you're closer up, this thing will shred zombies, but the fact that some of them just become sprinters really fast in some of these rounds, you will just have to keep your distance as far as away. And I didn't specifically use any ammo mods for this because I wanted to test it out on its own. I think you will have to resort to maybe a Shatter Blast or whatever will be the meta in the future. Currently it is Shatter Blast or Brain Rot. They're all pretty good. Now one of my favorite things to do with this weapon was actually cycle shooting. So instead of shooting the dual wield at the same time, I like to shoot left and right. You get 3 shots when it's pack-a-punched, and when it's not pack-a-punched you only have 2. And that's another flaw to this weapon in my opinion, probably one of the biggest ones actually, is the ammunition. You only have 69, haha, funny number, in the actual magazine itself, but for the actual shots you only get 3, which can get kind of confusing. On the higher rounds, now we're gonna quickly look at round 55, this thing does not hold up. The only good thing about it is if you use Ring of Fire, this thing will be melting through zombies if you cycle, because you'll just have a larger amount of shots than only 3. And if you've ever played Zetsubo no Shima Shima, this in no way feels like that weapon on that map. On Zetsubo no Shima, the Marshals were probably one of the most exciting things to get. It's like the ray gun on D Machina. You always went to hit the box for it, and I was like, oh, maybe this time if we'll be able to spawn in with the Marshals, dual wield, and even Dragon's Breath, this thing will be the most overpowered thing in the game. I don't think that's the case. Is it worth your time to go through the challenges and unlock it? Yeah, it's a very, very fun weapon to use on multiplayer and on the early rounds of zombies. I haven't had this much fun in a very long time. I'm a huge fan of this weapon, and if you're going to look at fun weapons and just good looking weapons, this is going to be top tier for me personally, just because it's a dual wield sawed off shotgun basically. It's pretty cool. It's a pistol, which is even better because you can dual wield it. I think they might buff it in the future, especially with Dragon's Breath, and there's still some other tests I want to do on bosses with this weapon, so there's still a bunch of things to see. This is just on round based maps going up to round 55. Hopefully this review was informative in some kind of way. I did enjoy using this weapon, and I think you who are watching, you would enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all guys in the next one. Oh, and lastly, also thank you for the 27,000 subscribers again. Peace out.